up on AC 24/7, the miraculous rescues continue in Syria and Turkey. We'll show you what they're up against a week after that devastating earthquake. Plus, what FBI agents found at the house of former Vice President Mike Pence. And the death of another black man in police custody is under investigation, this time in North Carolina. We'll show you the newly released dash cam and body footage. Hey there, welcome to AC 24/7. I'm your host, Lamar Baldwin. More than 36,000 people have died across Turkey and Syria following last week's catastrophic earthquake. Rescue workers continue to tell miraculous stories of survival. The Advocate Channel's Sarah Seidner reports on the rescue operations and the government's slow response to the disaster.
Yaşıyor adamın sesini duydum. Kısık sesini duydum.
38-year-old Kudret Kuchibelar desperately pleads with volunteer rescuers to search for her husband Bedir. He's buried, she says, in their corner apartment, which is somewhere under this rubble. They try to console her, but this mother of twins wants action, not words. There is nobody out there. It's been 6 days. I'm waiting here with my twins standing in the cold. She says she's been asking anyone who will listen to dig her husband out, but for 6 days, she says officials kept telling her they needed permission from the government to start on her building. I want my husband back, even if he's not alive. She may have accepted his death, but can't go on without seeing her husband's body removed from this hellscape. My life, my blood, my everything, my best friend in life. He left me with my twins here alone. While she waits for the realities of her husband's death, here in this area where you see enormous piles of rubble, these are different buildings, but you can't really distinguish them because there's just so much destruction. There have been signs of life. A child was found here alive after a week in the rubble. Nurses comfort the girl, who they think is 3 or 4 years old. She's dehydrated and in shock, but alive. This is the moment she was rescued. Her exhausted little body pulled from under the seemingly endless mountains of rubble in Hatay.
Mashallah, mashallah sana.
She was rushed to the makeshift hospital set up in the parking lot of the actual hospital that was evacuated after the earthquake. When she first arrived, as a mother, I felt that she was like my own daughter, this nurse says. She's cracking up the staff. She's talking. When we walked in, the toddler had managed to make the nurses laugh, relieved she could talk a bit. What is it that she said that made you all laugh? She made all the nurses laugh.
Anne. Mama, anne.
The word that made all the nurses laugh was mama, and I'm hungry. I want to eat something. And what did that do to your heart when she said mama? I felt a great pulse in my heart, she says. No one knew her name, and when they asked, she said Dada. It turns out this toddler does not speak Turkish. She speaks Arabic. Rescuers later tell us she's Syrian.
FBI agents have removed another classified document from former Vice President Mike Pence's Indiana home. Agents will also search his Washington, D.C. office. All of this after Pence was subpoenaed by the special counsel investigating Donald Trump and his role in the January 6th insurrection. The Advocate Channel's Paula Reed has more.
FBI agents arrived at the Indiana home of former Vice President Mike Pence Friday to search for classified documents. In a statement released after the search, Pence's team revealed investigators removed one document with classified markings and 6 additional pages without such markings that were not discovered in the initial review by the vice president's counsel.
Let me be clear.
Those classified documents should not have been in my personal residence. Mistakes were made, and I take full responsibility.
The Justice Department is now reviewing how those documents ended up there, especially after he denied taking any such materials. Pence consented to allowing the FBI in his home after his lawyers found a dozen documents marked classified in the residence last month.
There'd be no reason to have classified documents, particularly if they were in an unprotected area.
A member of his legal team was present as agents scoured the home, while Pence was on the West Coast visiting family after the arrival of 2 new grandchildren.
The vice president asked for full compliance.
His team publicly touting their cooperation in the search, in contrast to another Justice Department matter, as Pence now faces a subpoena from special counsel Jack Smith in his criminal investigation into January 6th. Pence's lawyers have been in negotiations for months as he's a key witness to what was happening inside the White House around the election and eventual Capitol attack.
I told the Secret Service that I was not leaving the Capitol.
And to Trump's pressure campaign to overturn the election.
Mike Pence is going to have to come through for us.
And the wrath he endured when he refused. Mike Pence didn't have the courage to do what should have been done, Trump tweeted as the Capitol was under siege.
When I saw those images, and when I read a tweet that President Trump issued saying that I lacked courage in that moment, it angered me greatly.
Pence could try to assert privilege over certain conversations with the former president, but he'll have a hard time refusing to answer questions about ones he included in his much-publicized memoir.
And I looked at him and I said, I guess there's just 2 things we'll probably never agree on. And he looked up and said, what? And I referred to my role on January 6th. And then I said, I'm never going to stop praying for you.
The Trump campaign has hired a research company to look into allegations of voter fraud in the 2020 election. But that group did not find any substantial evidence of wrongdoing that would have changed the outcome of the election. The Washington Post reports the Trump campaign retained the Berkeley Research Group to examine voting results in 6 states. A source tells the Post the group's findings did not match what the campaign team had hoped for, and the findings were never released. Raleigh police have released new video of a black man who died in police custody. We want to warn you, the video you're about to watch is graphic and some viewers may find this disturbing. According to the department memo, officers decided to arrest Williams for possession of a controlled substance. During the encounter, a scuffle broke out and officers tased Williams several times. Williams is heard complaining about heart problems. Williams later died at the hospital. 6 officers involved in the incident are currently on administrative leave during the investigation. Williams' family is demanding justice. Police recovered 2 firearms, marijuana, and a suspected controlled substance from the scene. The suicide rates in the U.S. increased in 2021 after 2 years of decline. That's according to a new CDC analysis. According to the data, there were 14.1 suicides every 100,000 people. When broke down by ethnic groups, there were significant increases in suicides amongst Native Americans, Black Americans, and Hispanic Americans. But when it comes to white Americans, the suicide rate had actually declined. If you or someone you know is struggling with mental health, you can reach the Suicide and Crisis Hotline by calling or texting 988. We are celebrating Black History Month. Today we want to spotlight artist and activist John Michael Basquiat. Basquiat was born in Brooklyn, New York and raised by his Haitian father and Puerto Rican mother. His career spanned over just 1 short decade, but it was one of the few artists that achieved international recognition, some calling him the face of contemporary art. Basquiat has been credited with bringing the African American and Latino experience into the art world. His 1982 painting named Untitled is one of the most expensive paintings ever purchased. It set the record for the highest price for a work by an American artist and by a Black artist. Thank you for joining us for AC 24/7. For more content that advocates to you, go to advocatechannel.com and make sure you follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. For the Advocate Channel, I'm Lamont Baldwin.